Having greens fresh from the garden is always a treat, especially as we begin to approach cooler months and you know that the time that that's going to occur gets shorter and shorter. Today we have a mesclun mix of baby greens, and we're going to turn that into a pear and lettuce salad. If you don't have baby greens, you can use other kinds of lettuce in this, but I'm going to make the dressing first because baby greens or mesclun is very delicate and it won't hold up to dressing for a very long period of time. So I'm going to put in 1/4 of a cup of orange juice and 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, a teaspoon of, 2 teaspoons of walnut oil is what I'm using today, but you could use canola oil if that flavor was going to be too pronounced, or if you didn't want, or if you didn't have it available. And then the last thing that's going in here is around a teaspoon of honey, just enough to drizzle it, and you may want to taste this later on and see if it's going to be sweet enough for you before you put the full teaspoon in. And then we're simply going to whisk those together and set them aside while we get everything else ready. And I'm not going to worry about getting them really well blended because there's nothing in here really that's going to help emulsify anything other than the whisking. It's going to separate again before we really are ready to use it. So set that aside. The next thing that we're going to use with this is the baby lettuce. Now, with all lettuces, what you're going for as far as nutrition is as much color as you can get. So this salad, the full thing calls for about 4 cups of lettuce, and we're going to divide that among 4 plates. I'm going to do 1 for us today. Now, what you want to look for on these is the most deep color, which is why these kinds of lettuce are more nutritious than, say, an iceberg lettuce would be. So whenever you're in the market, if you have a choice from one for another, or if you're picking seeds and you can choose one kind over another, go for the one that's got the deepest color because it's going to have the most vitamin A, vitamin C, and phytochemicals in it of those that are available to you. Next thing that we're going to put on here is a pear. Now, fall is a great time to look for pears. That's when they come into season. They do last most of the winter time. It's one of the few fruits that you want to harvest before it's actually ripe. And while there are many different varieties available on trees and in the market, all of them are going to be sweet. All of them are going to be good sources of fiber. So you just need to get the one that you're most fond of, whether it be a red pear or one like this. Make sure that it's ripe, and the way to tell when it's ripe, because you're going to get it and harvest it when it's underripe, you're going to want to either put it in a brown paper bag, and if you want it to speed that up, you can put in an apple or a banana to speed up the ripening. They ripen from the inside out, so if you wait for the center or the middle of the pear to be ripe and to be tender or soft when you put pressure with your thumb, it's going to be overripe. What you're going to want to do is go for the neck. So check the neck. If it yields for a small amount of pressure, then it's ripe. What we're going to do is we would peel this, and I've already got one ready to go, so I'm not actually going to peel it for you on camera. And I can see you probably can also tell that the flies really like this honey mixture we put together for the dressing. I'm going to show you how to get the core out so that it looks really nice, because this one is so ripe and great. Take a melon baller, and I'm going to use the large size on the melon baller. It kind of depends on how big the core is, and just take it out like that. Then you can take your knife in, or the small melon baller, and just make a small gash to remove that little bit on the end. And then you may want to follow along here and take that little bit of stem out there as well. And that's a real easy way to get a lot of these done as long as your pear is ripe. All right, we've got our pears ripe. Use about 2 pears for the whole salad. I've got 1 pear here, so I'm going to use half of what we've got in this dish. We've cored it and peeled it and cut it into wedges. We're just going to lay that on there. And then on top of that, I've got some feta cheese. It's a 1/4 of a cup of feta cheese, so it's going to be about a tablespoon per salad. And just go ahead and crumble that on top. And on top of that, we're going to put about, 1½ teaspoons of chopped pistachio nuts. These are roasted pistachio nuts, so that they have a little bit different flavor. You can either buy them roasted, or you can roast them yourself if you get them without being roasted. Whisk this together again just a little bit, and we're going to drizzle a little bit of the salad dressing over the top. And then serve the extra alongside so that people can add more as they go. Remember, you're going to want to do this just before you serve it, because the baby lettuces are going to collapse really quickly when the dressing goes on because of the acids and the oils that are there. there you have it, pear and lettuce salad. I hope you'll give it a try. I think it's really, really nice, especially here in the fall. For Oklahoma Gardening, this is Barbara Brown.